Episode 59, Dragon Entwined. Let's play.
I am most eager to address the ASEAN threat. However, we dare not neglect our other pressing concerns. Both know full well that Saint Shiva will not be the last primal we face, and our relationship with Iskar is still tenuous at best. To think that the resolution of the primal threat was once the sole priority of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Some days I wonder if it was wiser for us to take on so many responsibilities. Lest you forget, Antecedent, the Scions need not shoulder the burden alone. Were not the Crystal Braves established for this very reason? True, we are presented with a multitude of problems. However, we have all the resources we need to address them in turn. Kira, in particular, is ever a steadying hand, who I trust will continue to support the Braves. To what do we owe the pleasure? Have there been further developments regarding the situation in Ulda? As expected, the Immortal Flames have been struggling to cope with the revelation that one of their highest-ranking officials was a Garlean agent. Suffice it to say, Teleji Adeleji and the Monitor's ilk have wasted no time in attempting to turn the situation to their advantage. Coupled with ongoing unrest, the Flames are finding themselves hard-pressed. Plainly, General Reborn needs our help. I will direct the Crystal Braves to offer what support they can. If I am to stay abreast of the latest developments and issue effective orders, however, I cannot afford to waste time traveling back and forth. And so, for the foreseeable future, I think it would be for the best if I were to remain in Ulda, unless you have an objection. None whatsoever. We have matters here well in hand. Bree's research is proceeding as planned. So she tells me, though I am not familiar with the details. Orianjay is poring over his tomes at the Waking Sands, and the others are contributing in their own ways. Alas, the key problem, how to form an ethereal blade at will, remains unsolved. Nevertheless, it is only a matter of time. Kira, while we focus on that task, mayhap you could assist Alphino and his Braves with theirs. It would do much to restore faith in the Immortal Flames if the Warrior of Light was seen working on their behalf. Never forget that your Asim status allows you to act in ways that those more tightly bound to organizations and nations cannot. As ever, I implore you to do so. Not that your response was ever in doubt, but I humbly thank you once more for aiding our cause. Now then, there are preparations I must attend to before my departure, such as receiving Riel's latest report. He has proven to be quite skilled at gathering information others wish kept secret, hence why I placed him under my direct command and ordered him to investigate the Ul'dan riots. When you are finished here, join me outside. Depending on what he has to say, I may soon have a favor to ask. If there are any developments on our front, I shall inform you at once in the usual fashion. Pleasure as always, Kira. You'll be escorting the commander to Ul'dah, I take it? Actually, I had another task in mind for her. If you'd be so kind as to repeat your report for her benefit? Right then. Me and mine have been making inquiries into the source of the weapons that found their ways into the refugees' hands a ways back. So happens we caught wind of something promising. A rather large purchase of sharp and pointy things by a black marketeer holed up near High Bridge. I doubt that this man would have secured such a quantity of weapons if he did not already have clients waiting. Clients that, for whatever reason, would prefer for the transaction to remain secret. Brings to mind that merchant what caught an arrow while talking to Akira, don't it? Generous fellow. He was dueling out swords and spears to the downtrodden and disgruntled. Which isn't to say that these clients have the same mischief in mind, but if you want to be sure, it might be prudent to intervene before they collect their goods, savvy? Seizing the weapons before they fall into the wrong hands would be for the best. However, if we strike at the appointed hour, we might capture the black marketeer as well as his clients. What say you, Kira? Hell yeah, son. And it's settled. Rendezvous with Captain Ilbert at High Bridge and intervene when the exchange takes place. Now then, if you would excuse me, I must leave for Ul'dah. I expect good tidings. Ah, Kira, my scouts have been keeping a close eye on the black marketeer, and it would seem that his guests have arrived. It would also seem that he has hired more than a few men to stand guard, common thugs of no consequence, but they nevertheless pose a threat. Even so, I feel compelled to apologize. This is far beneath a woman of your standing. Commander Levier needn't have dispatched you hither. But powerful men ever have need of loyal, able-bodied friends. Having found one in you, it is only natural that he would come to rely upon you without hesitation. Now then, we should make for the burning wall without delay and secure those weapons. First unit will ensure that the clients do not escape. Me, Kira. I spy the one man, but there are sure to be others. I have a plan. While you approach the sentry and create distraction, my men and I will slip past and catch the black marketeer unawares. Once you've disposed of the thugs, wait for us outside the tunnel entrance. Any questions? Let us be off. Good luck, my friend. What up, big dog? Who goes there? An adventurer? Damn fool. You should have never come here. Easy breezy. Oh. I don't understand. What's this all about? Ah! As you can see, this is a fine mess. When I tried to restrain him, he drew a hidden blade and lashed out, but before I could disarm him, one of my subordinates panicked, and this is the result. How foolish of me to underestimate the bastard. To bring an inexperienced recruit. Commander Leviera will be most disappointed. Damn it all. A golden opportunity wasted. As for the clients, though we know not how, they slip past our perimeter. At present, the first is currently tracking a party of Duskwhite sellswords we suspect may be them. Would that we could have enlisted the aid of the Immortal Flames or the Brass Blades. Alas, we're here to aid them. They're in no position to aid us. Well, at the very least, we have secured the weapons, yet even that accomplishment is lacking. For the information we received indicates a massive shipment, and this is anything but. I will join the first in the hunt for the Duskwhite sellswords. If the gods are good, we will catch them before they escape into the Black Shroud. In the meantime, I ask you to deliver these weapons to Ulda in my stead. Trust them to the third's Yu Hase. He will take care of the rest. Look who it is. It's Wilrid. I don't know if you guys remember or not, but he was from way back in the day when we first visited Little Alamigo. He was trying to summon Ralliger. How you doing, bud? Did you hear, my friend? I've received my first official assignment as a full-fledged member of the Crystal Braves. Good for you. Ah, the Warrior of Light, ever reliable friend to the Crystal Braves. You have my deepest thanks for your assistance in Kurthus. Now, what brings you to us this day? Got a package of weapons, big bro. Gift of weapons from a certain black marketeer? Courtesy of Captain Gilbert, you say? Understood. Once we've cataloged the contents, I'll have them delivered to the Hall of Flames. This cannot be everything, can it? Riel stated with confidence that there would be a far greater quantity of weapons. A blatant falsehood. Clearly Riel is unfamiliar with the ways of the Uldan merchants, who ever strive to present themselves as greater than they are. We should be thankful that his information was not completely erroneous, and that we managed to achieve anything of worth at all. That's weird. It's still something worth celebrating, isn't it, Lieutenant? Besides, we've got more important things to worry about, like fighting those Garleans up north. You know, the Riola's pretty dependable dudes. Something weird's going on, bruh. There will be no fighting if I have anything to say about it. Our orders are to stand watch, not to seek glory in battle. If you have no further need of us, then I shall take my unit to the cerulean processing plant. Time for the fourth to earn their keep, eh? Fight well, Eliane. The freedom of all. I like Wilrid. It's a cool dude. Excellent work as always, my friend. Rest assured that the Immortal Flames will hear of your contribution. Until we meet again. Riel, Kira, a word if it please ye. Not here. Look for me at the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. No need for whistling this time, don't you worry. Oh. Right. The whistling. Greeting, lass. Might you be the one the captain said would come calling? Aye, I thought so. Pay attention now, cause I ain't explaining myself twice. Thanks for indulging me request. Few places better than a market for privacy, I find. All the hustle and bustle of commerce means most conversations go unnoticed. I'll get to the point. At the Burning Wall, when you and the captain interrupted the exchange, what happened? Tell me everything. Leave no detail out. Well, I was killing some people, and I hit a dude with a sword and some stones and some electricity. That's not quite how the first told it. These Duskwites they were chasing. Latest word is that we lost the trail. But you never saw him yourself? Not before the fighting started, and not after? Something ain't right. I don't know what it is, but I can feel it in me bones. I'm not daft enough to be misled by some merchant's drunken boasts. Our information was reliable, goddammit. I know he purchased those weapons. As if I never deciphered a moneylender's books, or had to follow a transaction back to its source. Did plenty of that back when the Braves were getting started, believe me. Commander wanted assurances that weren't taking gild from the wrong sort of benefactors. Of course, these days the money flows like water, and the first and third get the shiniest new toys. Sounds like monetarists. Forgive me, friend. I've a lot on me mind these days, and I appreciate you lending an ear. Right then, let's get back to it. Kira, can you hear me? This is Tataru. Your presence is urgently requested at the Rising Stones. Please come and see me as soon as you are able. Thank you for coming so quickly, Kira. We have a guest from Ishgard who wishes to speak with you. Most, determined lady by all indications. Our guest is with the antecedent in the Solar at present. Let's not keep them waiting any longer, shall we?
We have a guest from Ishgard who wishes to speak with you. I believe the two of you have met.
We have. I had hoped to speak with Commander Leveilleur as well, but I cannot afford to wait any longer. The Lord Commander sent me hither to request your aid in a matter of grave import.
You see now why I had Tataru summon you.
Now that we're all assembled, perhaps you would be good enough to elaborate on the nature of the matter which brought you to us.
The Observatorium's astrologians have sounded the alarm. Last night, the Dragonstar burned with an intensity not seen in 15 summers. Not since the Dravanians engaged the Empire in the Battle of Silvertear Skies.
The northern sky doth burn full bright upon the Wormlord's call. The red behemoth beckoneth, and flame consumeth all.
The old Curthan rhyme, aye. The brightening of the Dragonstar is said to accompany the roar of a great worm. The astrologians believe that it was Midgardsormr himself who cried out on this occasion.
After an absence of centuries, the King of Kings did return to lead his kind against the might of Garlemald, only to fall in his duel with the Agrius, proud flagship of the Garlean fleet. Devoid of life, his corpse remaineth entwined about the Magitech monstrosity even unto this day.
Ariange has the right of it. Whatever this alteration in the Dragonstar portends, the Great Worm has shown no sign of life. Tataru, have the Domans reported aught out of the ordinary?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but if Midgardsormr had roared, wouldn't we have heard it here in Revenant's Toll?
Roar is but a figure of speech. Dravanians can communicate in ways beyond our ken. It is for this very reason that we are forced to look for signs in the heavens. We cannot say with any confidence that a great worm roared at all, much less that it was Midgard Sorma. Only by directly examining the Keeper of the Lake can we be certain. However, it will take too long to gain the Holy See's approval to dispatch the Temple Knights. Therefore, Sir Emric would entrust this task to you. Do you accept? We knew you would not disappoint us. Now, if you would excuse me, I must return and assist the Lord Commander. We have precious little time to prepare.
To prepare for what, pray tell?
When a great worm roars, his brethren cannot choose but answer. We prepare for battle.
Forgive me if I state aught which you already know, but I would ensure that you understand the nature of your destination. As Oriange stated, we now call the Keeper of the Lake. What we now call the Keeper of the Lake is the wreckage of the Agrius, former flagship of the Imperial fleet, and the corpse of the worm responsible for its destruction. 15 years ago, as the next step in his campaign to subjugate Eorzea, Gaius Van Bowser attempted to seize control of Mordona. So massive was his force that all thought his victory a foregone conclusion. But an unlikely ally came to Eorzea's aid that day. Midgard Zormr, legendary guardian of Silvertear Falls, burst forth from beneath the waters of the lake and led a host of dragons against the Garlean airship overhead. In what would later become known as the Battle of Silvertear Skies, the Great Worm felled countless airships before engaging the Agrius. In the ensuing struggle, the flagship's cerulean engines failed and it tumbled into the lake below. Yet this victory came at a great cost, for the explosion which followed claimed the life of the Great Worm as well. That same explosion transformed Silvertear Falls into the desolate wasteland it is today, draining the lake of its waters and crystallizing aether for malms around. Yet a remnant of the lake remains, in its center a constant reminder of that fateful day long ago. In accordance with Sir Emric's wishes, our Doman allies have been standing watch over the Keeper of the Lake. It would be wise to speak with him before investigating the wreckage yourself. Be careful, my friend. You know not what dangers await you within. Now then, let us not neglect our own tasks. There is much to be done and precious little time to do it. You're in luck, miss. I was about to send word to Revenant's Toll about the Garleans. Of late, I've seen small airships, likely from Castrum Century, come and go from the Keeper of the Lake. Though I cannot say for certain, at this distance I believe they may be salvaging something from within the wreckage. The Castrum supply lines have been cut for some time, and I'd wager they're desperately in need of spare parts and other equipment. So it's true then. Guardians honestly fear that the worm might rise again? Well, from here that seems rather unlikely, but if it's assurances they want, you've no choice but to inspect the corpse in its entirety. Easier said than done, given the creatures which inhabit the wreckage, and the aforementioned Garleans who won't take kindly to your presence. They're sure to fire upon an airship, so I'd advise more stealthy approach. Take this boat and a few of your comrades to the base of the Agrius, then climb to the top. That's the only viable approach, I'd say.
Who treadeth now upon my bones, and waketh me from slumber sweet? Thou hast forgotten the face of thy lord. Remember, mortal, and fear me.